Marin County, like north of San Fran, all these like green hills and stuff. That's where mountain biking started. Like, oh my god, how great is that? Okay, yeah, that's where it started. That's where the guys in the like late '70s, early '80s, like hippies, past sort of hippies. That's perfect. Yeah, like okay, okay. I'll talk to you soon, Cam. Okay, yeah. Have a good afternoon.
Hello and welcome to the Olympic Oval for the Canadian Single Distance Championships. This is the first event of the Canadian Championships this Saturday, the 5,000 meter men's. We have 4 pairs of races coming up, 8 skaters. First off the line here is Matthew Laxton from Ontario in the inner lane, and Caleb Mueller from Alberta in the outer. Watch their armbands to identify each skater. Laxton's in white, Mueller in red. Opening splits 19.5 for Mueller, 19.8 for Laxton. Both skaters off to a smooth start. Skaters of this caliber, you want to see them under 20 seconds in their first 200-meter opener. They need to be relaxed, but they can't waste any time right off the line. It looks like it's Mueller pulling out an early lead. Opening lap time 30.3, 31.24 for Laxton. These two chasing separate personal bests. Caleb Mueller's personal best coming into this event 6:34.62. Laxton 6:54. So if Mueller wants to beat his PB, he needs to average under that 31-second marker. He's continuing to extend his lead, although he's up into the 31s. Laxton hanging in there at the high 31s. Laxton's personal best, 6:54. If he can stay under the 33-second per lap mark, he'll be on pace for a personal best. 2 young skaters here. Mueller's 19 years old, Laxton 20 years old. Caleb Mueller, fresh off his participation at the Junior World Championships last season, where he finished 10th in this distance in Salt Lake City. In fact, but he has gone faster since then. His personal best is just from a month ago, that 6:34 mark. So Mueller bringing it back down. He went up into the 31s, but he's starting to bring it back. Laxton in the 32s now, still on pace for a good time, but these two are skating separate races, each looking for their own times. Mueller, another low 31. Look at that. Laxton's going to come through. Let's see if he can keep it steady. Yep, 32.2. The skater skating 12 and a half laps for this 5K competition. Each time around is 400 meters, skating an inner lane and an outer lane. Now these skaters, Laxton, Mueller, coming up next in the next pair, Mayor and Fish in the final pair, are all classified as neo-seniors, meaning they are between the ages of 19 and 23. This season, the Canadian team, Speed Skating Canada, is sending 3 male and 3 female neo-seniors to a neo-senior World Cup. Now, winning this race amongst the neo-seniors does not guarantee a spot at that neo-senior World Cup, but it certainly helps your case, so that's what these two are chasing down here. Mueller still pulling out a good one. He's in those low 31s all the way. He's 3,000 meters in, 5 laps remaining, or actually as he comes around, 4 to go now. This is the crunch time in the 5K. 4 laps to go, 2/3 done the race. This is where the legs start to hurt. And if you've got anything left, you're giving it all at this moment. You're looking technically strong as he negative split that lap. Laxton dipping up into those 33s. Super important part of the race for him now. If he can bring those back, he'll be in good shape. As it's all Mueller with a almost 200-meter lead now. Another low 31 with 3 to go. Mueller chasing that PB of 6:34. He's right on pace right now, as long as he keeps these last 3 laps in the 31s. A lot of skaters towards the tail end of a 5K will start to try to move their legs faster. And sometimes when they do that, they can actually go slower because the technique starts to fall apart. They start to stand up, their strides shorten up a little. See Laxton coming through. He's up in the 34s now. See if he can bring it back. His lap time, another 34 as Mueller comes around. On his bell lap, 500 meters remaining for Caleb Mueller. Chasing a low 6:30 here. He's on pace right now for a slight PB. He finishes strong. He'll be around the 6:32, 6:33 range. Mueller's got 1 to go now. Sorry, Laxton has 1 to go. Here comes Caleb Mueller. Last 50 meters. To the line, 6:32.93. That's a personal best for him. Almost a second and a half faster than he's ever gone in the past. He left Laxton in his dust. Laxton trying to finish up strong. He's going to come across just under 7 minutes, 6:58.90, his final time. As we now look at our next pair, this is Jake Weidman in the inner lane and Hayden Mayor in the outer lane. 2 skaters from Ontario, Weidman from Ottawa, Mayor from Toronto. Maybe a bit of a rivalry there, although they now train together here in Calgary. Skaters are off the line. Weidman's in the red suit, Mayor in the blue suit. Come through both opening times, 19s. Hey, Mayor just a little bit quicker, maybe cleverly setting himself up for a good draft on this first backstretch. But he's just going to go right by. Really important for these athletes to stick to their own race. Often in the 5K, you get distracted by your partner. You try and keep up with them, or if they're going too slow, you try and race them, and and you could actually go faster. So it is, after all, an individual sport. Only the final time matters. Let's see what lap times are settling into. Mayor, the 30.0, is starting quick. His personal best is 6:30.8. Jake Weidman's chasing a PB of 6:35.5. So these two guys, they're chasing Caleb Mueller's trailblazing time of 6:32. So Mayor just ahead of the pace set by Mueller. Weidman just behind. Look at them to average around that 31.0 second mark as they go around. So right now they're just eating into that time, banking some time for the end. Mayor, another low 30. So not only are these skaters, Mayor, Laxton, Mueller, Fish, chasing that Neo Senior time, they're also chasing a qualifying time for senior full-time World Cups. The time these athletes need to achieve is 6:22.28. That is a very quick time, 6:22. In order to achieve a 6:22, they must skate an average of 30.3 seconds a lap. So Mayor looking like he was going for that time at the beginning, although he's falling off the pace right now. Weidman's keeping up nicely, still in those low 31s. Exactly where these guys need to be for personal bests. Mayor, another sub 31 lap. Weidman, negative splitting as well. So when they come around, they will have 6 laps remaining. So they're about the halfway mark right here at this 12.5 lap race. Both skaters looking very long and smooth this halfway point. Technical prowess and efficiency is so important in long track speed skating. Those arms need to be relaxed, upper body, nice small arch in the back, long strides, good weight transfer. Both skaters looking good. Mayor letting it go a little. That's first lap over 31 seconds. Weidman negative splitting again. See if these trends continue. Mayor's got to bring it down. Another 31. Weidman, another sub 30. He's gaining ground. Both skaters on pace at the moment to beat Caleb Mueller. Though we should note Caleb Mueller finished very strong in the low 31s. So these guys are ahead of Mueller at this point of the race, but if they let anything slip, Mueller could nab them at the end. Here comes Weidman, he's gaining. Mayor, mid 31, Weidman up into the 31s as well. These guys have to stop the bleeding right here, cauterize the wound. They need low 31s. Really critical point of the race with 3 to go. This guy's also looking for a sub 6:27 for that Neo Senior time. Both skaters now in the mid 31s. Weidman is on his way. He's got Mayor in his sights, hunting him down that backstretch. Let's see if Mayor has an answer. Only 1 second up on Mueller with 2 to go. Mueller's watching this. Those gaps are shrinking down. Mayor is only 4/10 ahead now. Weidman's gaining ground. Watch out for the crossover here. Weidman had to give way to Mayor. Mayor had the right of way coming from the outer lane. navigated that okay. Hopefully Weidman did not lose too much speed. Maybe he'll get a kick of adrenaline out of this with the bell lap. 1 to go. Mayor 31.9. Weidman 32.6. It looks like that crossover may have hurt him a little. And it seems as though Caleb Mueller will hang on to the top spot on the leaderboard, as Hayden Mayor trying to get around this last corner into the final stretch. Can't say he didn't go for it, starting his first 6 laps under 31. He'll finish up with a 6:33.74. Impressive race from Hayden Mayor. Jake Weidman, 6:35.39. Just a slight PB for Jake Weidman, 0.2 ahead of his previous best. So Hayden Mayor took that second pair, and he moves to second on the leaderboard. So after 2 pairs, Mueller is still the guy to beat. 6:32, the target time for these two. Coming up next, it's Jordan Belchos from Ontario in the inner, and Antoine Gélinas-Beaulieu from Quebec in the outer. Belchos with the white armband, Beaulieu with the red armband. Canadian Championships are organized slowest to fastest. So generally speaking, as we go along, these pairs should get faster. The times should get quicker. Caleb Mueller threw down quite the race, 6:32. These two will be aiming to beat that, but they're also gunning for the World Cup qualifying time of 6:22.28. Ted Jan Blumen is already pre-qualified for World Cups in this distance. And it seems as though there will be potentially one extra spot available, depending on the circumstances. So these two will be racing the time on the clock, trying to get that 6:22.38. But they're also racing each other, because if they both get the time, whoever wins will be ranked ahead. 2 skaters coming up after this, Graham Fish and the man himself, Ted Jan Blumen, current world record holder in this distance. Antoine Gélinas-Beaulieu, 26 years old. His personal best in this distance is a 6:22.73, so just shy of that qualifying time. He raced that last year around this time in October at the World Cup qualifiers. So he has a history of bringing his best at this qualifying competition. Both skaters holding the low 30-second lap. It's exactly what they need. They need to average 30.3 seconds per lap in order to hit that 6:22 time. Jordan Belchos, 29 years old. He's a longtime member of the national team. He skated his personal best in this distance of 6:16 2 years ago at the World Championships in Pyeongchang, Korea. Gangneung, Korea, my mistake. He's also a recent Olympian, finished in 5th place at the 10,000 meter at Pyeongchang 2018. So very experienced skater. Interesting to see how this race plays out as they come around with 7 to go, just shy of the halfway mark. Both skaters still hitting their target times. Belchos will get a good draft on this one. Looks like there's a tight crossover. Belchos almost had to lift his upper body in order to get past Gélinas-Beaulieu, who really jammed it to get out of the corner in time. Hopefully there's no disqualifications out of that. Belchos, 29-8. That was a big negative split for him. This is where he's going to try and turn the screw. Julien Beaulieu gave up some time there. 30.6. They're going in opposite directions. It's exactly what Belchos needed to do right here at this point of the race. These 5K races can be a psychological game as well, where duking it out. Another 29-second lap for Jordan. Julien Beaulieu, positive split again. He's into the high 30s. He's watching his hopes skate away in front of him. As Belchos crosses into the inner, can he give us another 29? 4 laps remaining, 2/3 of the way through. And he's back into the 30s, but he's still going good. This is where it takes ultimate concentration and the power of will. These last 3 to 4 laps, making sure you don't give up any time. If you're not careful, if you lose 1 second a lap at this point, there goes your target time. He's been hovering around those low 30-second marks. He needed to average 30.3, and he's above that now, 30.5. If he keeps these laps under 31, he should be okay. But there are 2 formidable opponents coming up in the next pair, so he's got to lay down the best time he can. Graham Fish, Ted-Jan Blumen coming up next. But for now, it's Belchos and Julien Beaulieu with 2 laps remaining. Belchos, another 30. So Belchos stemming the bleeding. That was an important lap right there. He's going to drop an arm coming out of the corner, trying to will his body to keep moving. He's going to be off his personal best, but he just needs to be under that 6:22 marker. It's going to be close. He comes around. Bell lap. It's all Jordan Belchos here in the second last pair of this Canadian Championships. 30.8, he's letting it go. It's going to be really tight. Right now he's on track for about a 6:21, 6:22. See if he can accelerate in this last lap. If he negative splits this, he'll make it. It's going to be really tight to the line. 6:19, 20, 21, 6:21.89, just under the number he needed. Negative splitting that last lap. Excellent performance from Jordan Belchos. He takes over top place in the leaderboard. Antoine Julien Beaulieu moves into second with a 6:30 flat. What a race and what a finish from Jordan Belchos. That took guts. It's again that qualifying standard 6:22.38. So Belchos only 3/10 under his required time, but he did it. Well, we've got 2 skaters who will be gunning to beat him here. And what a pair this is. Our final pair in the men's 5,000 meter Canadian Championships. Inner lane, Graham Fish from Saskatchewan. Outer lane, Ted-Jan Blumen from Alberta via the Netherlands. This is a young up-and-comer versus a wily veteran here. Graham Fish, who just recently set a personal best, 6:22.7, about a month ago. Young 21-year-old athlete who's just been getting better and better in each year in these long distances. This year he's had the opportunity to train with the top national team group in these long and middle distances. Really seems to be pushing him Blumen, of course, one of the best, or arguably the best skater in the world over these long distances. World record holder in the 5K. World record holder in the 10,000 meter. Silver medalist in 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang in the 5K. Olympic champion in the 10K. Both skaters starting fairly slow. That opening split in the high 19s, low 22nd 200-meter times. A little off what you'd like to see. First lap times for Fish also a little slow. He's going to really need to build into this race. Blumen, of course, just off on his own in the mid-29s. This is more of a training race for him. He's already pre-qualified in this distance for World Cups. Fish, though, chasing that second time. He's down into the low 30s now in the target zone. Again, average lap time required for Graham Fish, 30.3. So far he's had one 30.7, one 30.2. Let's see what he does here. 30.9, going the wrong way. Ted-Jan Blumen, nice and steady in those mid-29s. Putting together yet another world-class race. In the mid-29 range. He'll be gunning for a time in the low 16s, meaning between 6:10 and 6:15 if he can keep up this pace in the mid-29s. Fish, negative splitting. He's still shy of the required pace. He needs to beat Jordan Belchos, and right now he's 3 seconds off. Further this gets into the race, the harder it's going to be to make up that time. Another mid-29 for Blumen. Fish, 30.6, so he's steady, but he's hemorrhaging speed, or hemorrhaging time to Jordan. He'll come around. 6 laps remaining, halfway through this race. Blumen starting to slow down a little. Close to that 30-second mark now, about half second slower than his average pace so far. Fish, negative splitting a slight bit. He's now 4 seconds back of Belchos. And don't forget, Belchos did have some positive splits at the end of his race. The further we get into this, it becomes tougher and tougher for Fish to catch him. And Blumen's now another positive split into the 30s. So he's still ahead. But things are starting to slow down a little for both skaters. This is that midpoint of 5K where if the skaters aren't careful, you just keep skating the same way you were at the start of the race. But your legs are a little bit more tired and the speed falls off. So the approach often has to change throughout the race. Skaters have to change their stride tempo and the amount of pressure they put in as the race goes on. Big mental challenge. Graham Fish with a big negative split. He's now going faster than Blumen. We'll see if he can negative split the rest of the way. That's what he's going to have to do. Blumen into the 31s. Things are coming apart a little. He is notoriously a very good finisher, though, Ted-Jan Blumen. So expect him to pick it up in the last few laps. Fish has really dropped his speed, or dropped his lap times in the last few laps, picking up his speed. He's got to keep that trend. He can see Blumen ahead of him. This is a good opportunity here to chase his pair. Ted Jan Blumen, another 31. 2 laps remaining. 1.5 to go now for Blumen. Fish, another mid-30. On the bell lap, Ted Jan Blumen, negative splitting. Expect him to do it again on this next lap. He said that he's trained very hard and worked on the last few laps of every race, learning how to negative split and pick up the pace at the end of the race. Certainly paid off last year at the Olympics. He's showing everyone how it's done here on this last lap, and he's going to be your 2018-19 Canadian champion. 6:21.63 his final time. 6:28.46 for Graham Fish. That's good for third. And so, with all races completed, Ted Jan Blumen is your Canadian champion for this season over the 5,000 meters. 6:21.63, the winning time. Silver medal will go to Jordan Belchos from Ontario, just behind his training partner, Antoine Gélinas-Beaulieu from Quebec, rounding off the top 3 with a 6:30. In fact, my mistake, Graham Fish rounds off the top 3 with the bronze medal, 6:28. Antoine Gélinas-Beaulieu, the runner-up, in 4th.
Races will resume at 8 p.m.
So, thanks for watching the 2018-2019 Canadian Single Distance Championships. Ted Jan Blumen once again showing how it's done. Stay tuned in 25 minutes. The ladies 3K World Championships, or Canadian Championships, coming up.